He was on his way to work and wait for his crew to come pick him up. And some guys rolled up and wanted to rob him, and he didn't want to give up too easy, so they shot him in the chest one time, right here on the second brick, the second block right there. And they took off. They ripped his back pockets out, and they sped off.
Sped off with $50 after fatally wounding the 41-year-old. He died in hospital during surgery. Police reports describe a struggle between Andrew Lestrap, who'd pulled a knife to defend himself, against the shooter of a Tech-9 pistol. There were no eyewitnesses. A few days later, police spotted a stolen car cruising through Houston. The driver, Dominique Green. The car veered into a ditch and its passengers were arrested. Dominique escaped on foot. Police tracked him hiding in nearby woods. The Tech-9 pistol which killed Andrew Lestrap was found in the car. There were no fingerprints. Dominique, just 18 years old, was charged with capital murder. If the jury decided against him, death by lethal injection would be his penalty. His so-called friends agreed to plea bargain to save their own lives. They fingered Dominique as the shooter.
They were offered a deal because they were clearly the reason they didn't get the death penalty is because they testified against Dominique. So how do they decide they're going to ask for the death penalty? The most vulnerable.
The death penalty is a very political process. The district attorney is an elected official, and all our judges are elected officials. And the way to get elected here is to show how tough on crime you are. And so pushing the death penalty is the way to do it.
They asked me on the witness stand if I thought he was capable of doing it. And I said, yeah, he's just like me. Point blank. Yeah, he's just like me. And at the time, I was going through cancer treatment, I was going to psychiatrists, I was going to psychologists, and nobody took that nobody really cared.
Stephanie, by now sick with multiple personality disorder, says she was manipulated while testifying. But her words about Dominique were damning.
She tells the jury, do anything you can do to my son under the law.
Like condemn him to death.
I got the death penalty because we live in an intolerant society. It was just so much against me. I can't even begin to explain because all the stuff that happened in my case. It's like if I start, I can't stop.
I wanted to stop the death penalty for Dominique and for all the others. And the first step was to dream of and fight for a moratorium on executions and then on sentences and on executions. So this is why we launched a petition, an appeal for a moratorium that collected 5 million signatures.
Mario works side by side with Sister Helen Prasian, the anti-death penalty campaigner portrayed by Oscar winner Susan Sarandon in the film Dead Man Walking. And he was committed to making sure the man who had inspired his work was given a voice beyond his confinement.